Hi there, welcome. My name is Saman, and if you're watching this, I hope you've been watching the past 3 videos that I've done on this sort of a mini course. It's a jazz guitar course, it's a series of jazz guitar lessons, and so far we've talked about walking bass lines, talked about jazz guitar chords, root position triads, jazz guitar triads, and in this fourth installment I'll be talking about how to use the triads that we learned in the past lesson, in just the previous lesson, and use them to create a simple solo to start off, to kickstart your jazz guitar soloing. So I'll go straight into it. I'll play this solo and then I'll explain a little bit about what's happening. 1, 2, 1, 2. And there you have it. So in this solo, what I've done is basically taken the simple triads that I introduced in the previous lesson, that you learned in the last lesson, and added a few things, changed the rhythm around, moved the notes, created different variations of it. For example, in the very first bar, if you look at it, it was originally just sorry, E. Second one. So very simple, just to learn the shape. But here I added a passing note, F natural, going to that F sharp. And this is a very common technique in jazz, that you take a note, a chord shape, and you approach it with a note below it. So then I did the same thing for these chords. Here I just played the chords of it. And then for the rest of it, the second half, that part. So I'm just playing around with this basic shape that I introduced and just going. So it sort of goes down, goes back up, and that creates a little interest. I did something at the last 4 bars. Instead of just I did. So I added this note, which wasn't listed in the original chart. I just put these ones, and that's probably the hardest line that you'll encounter in this solo example. And the idea is that by learning this, and you can create your own backing track, or you can play even with one of the previous lessons. You know, there's the walking bass line one, and there's also the comping one, jazz chords. You could play the solo over that to listen to how it sounds, or you could record your own accompaniment, which is something I strongly recommend, just as it's because it's such a great process to do, to record your own backing track, learn the chords, and then learn to solo over it. Now, if you learn this solo, you can use this as a basic sort of platform, sort of ramp, premise to start off learning how you can play with triads over these songs. Of course, there are many ways to learn how to solo in jazz, but I find that taking a very simple concept, in this case just basic triads. We're not doing anything fancy yet. We're not even using tensions, we're not using substitutions. We're using a little chromatic approach, a little bit, and just variations of how you can arrange those notes, the rhythm. And by doing this, you're training your ears to really hear the chord progression in a very intimate way. You really want to know the chord progression. So what do? Learn the solo, and if you haven't learned just the triads by themselves first, refer to the previous lesson, and then learn the triads first, and then learn the solo. After you've done this, one of the best things you can do is to write your own solo. So maybe play this as the first chorus of your solo, and then write another solo to continue it. Or, if you're really adventurous, write your own solo, like one chorus or two choruses. Exactly the same way. Just figure out different ways to play the same notes. And this will most definitely kickstart your jazz soloing and teach you where the triads are and how you can make them more musical. These lessons do form a sequential mini course of sorts. So if you follow from lesson 1, 2, 3, and 4, you would get a really strong foundation for the song Autumn Leaves. And in future lessons, I'll be talking about different things to expand your jazz guitar soloing. But this is the installment for January, 4 lessons on jazz. Stay tuned next month as we explore different topics. This whole year, I'll have lessons online, and they will be on jazz, on beginner guitar, and on fingerstyle guitar. I'll be alternating every month on a different topic. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video helped you learn more about jazz guitar soloing. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below the YouTube video or on the blog post if you're on the website. If you're not on the website page, my website page, please go to my website. The links are below, and you'll get the free PDF, the audio version, and links to other related lessons that I have on the site. Also, if you enjoyed this lesson, please do sign up on the mailing list so I can keep you informed of future lessons as well. I look forward to hear from you, and all the best in your jazz guitar adventure. Cheers.